Welcome to the Alcohol Reset, the podcast that helps you reset your habits, health, and relationship with alcohol without judgment or extremes. If you're looking to cut back, take a break, or just understand how drinking can affect your body and mind, you're in the right place. Each episode brings you science-backed insights on neuroscience, nutrition, and habit change to help you feel better, sleep deeper, and take control on your terms. I'm Mike Hardenbrook, best-selling author, neuroscience enthusiast, and habit change expert. I've helped thousands through my book and podcast to rethink their drinking, and now I'm here to help you do the same. Let's get started. You know the scene. It's Friday night, long week. You're out, the drinks are flowing, and someone drops the food menu on the table. And let's be honest, in that moment, your brain isn't exactly screaming for a kale salad. No. Your brain wants the fries, the wings, the burger, with all the works. It feels like the perfect combo, right? That cold drink, that heavy, comforting food. But then, the morning happens. And I want you to really think about this for a second. Have you ever noticed that waking up after that specific combination, the booze plus the heavy food, feels way, way worse than just drinking alone? It's not just a headache, it's deeper. You feel inflamed, puffy, your stomach feels like a lead weight. Most of us just chalk it up to, too many calories, or I guess I'm just getting old. But here's the thing I want to unpack today. It is not just about volume. You're not just getting old. You've triggered a specific biological collision because your liver, it physically cannot process alcohol and fat at the same time. It's impossible. You've created what I call a metabolic traffic jam. I'm Mike Hardenbrook. I wrote a book called No Willpower Required, and I founded a company called Cloud9. And my goal today isn't to scare you. It's to break down the actual mechanics of what happens when booze and burgers collide. Because once you understand the machinery, you can make smarter moves. So let's get into it. To understand this, you first have to understand the liver's hierarchy. Think of your liver less like a CEO and more like an ER doctor. Has a ton of jobs. Detoxing, metabolizing fat, regulating blood sugar, all the maintenance stuff. But like any ER, it runs on triage. It can't treat a sprained ankle when a gunshot wound comes through the door. And here's the rule you have to remember. Alcohol is the gunshot wound. To your body, alcohol is a toxin. It's a poison. There's no storage tank for it. It has to be dealt with now. So the moment alcohol hits your system, your liver drops everything else. Everything. So what happens to that cheeseburger and fries you just ate? Well, fat metabolism hits the pause button, and I'm going to mean it slows down. I mean it grinds to a complete screeching halt. So that fat you're eating, your liver literally cannot burn it. It has no choice but to shove it into storage. That's the traffic jam. Okay, so let's go deeper. Let's talk enzymes. Step one, you take a drink. The alcohol, the ethanol, hits your liver. An enzyme called ADH gets to work and converts that ethanol into something called acetaldehyde. Now, acetaldehyde, this stuff is nasty. It's highly toxic. It's a carcinogen. Your body knows this is dangerous stuff, so it works like crazy to break it down again. It uses another enzyme, ALDH, to turn that toxic acetaldehyde into something called acetate. Acetate is much safer, and your body can actually use it for energy. But here's the trade-off, and it is a massive one. Your body is now flooded with this super easy energy source, acetate. So why would it do the hard work of burning fat when it's got all this free acetate floating around? It wouldn't. It takes the easy path. It starts running on basically booze fumes. And while that's happening, your fat burning ability, it drops to near zero, a total metabolic blockade. Which brings us to step two, fat accumulation. While your liver is fighting this alcohol war, what's happening to the wings and the pizza? Well, the research is crystal clear on this. Alcohol suppresses fat burning, and it also jacks up the triglycerides, the fat in your blood. So you've created this double whammy. You're pouring all this dietary fat into a system that has literally forgotten how to burn fat. The liver gets completely overwhelmed. It looks at all this incoming fat and says, nope, can't deal with this now. I'm busy with the poison. So it just packs it away into your visceral fat, or worse, directly into the liver cells themselves. And that brings us to step three, which is why you feel like absolute death the next morning. Inflammation. We know alcohol causes oxidative stress. That's a given. It produces free radicals. But those high-fat foods we love, the fried stuff, the processed stuff, they also trigger a huge inflammatory response. When you put them together, they don't just add up. They amplify each other. It's like 1 + 1 = 10. So that wrecked feeling, it's not just a hangover. A hangover is mostly dehydration. What you're feeling is metabolic overload. It's the aftermath of that internal pileup. Think about the specific symptoms for a second. You wake up feeling bloated, heavy. Why? Because alcohol slows down how fast your stomach empties. That food is just sitting in there longer. And the brain fog, that's sluggish, kind of stupid feeling, that's linked to the wild swings in your blood sugar. Your liver's too distracted to manage it properly, so your brain feels it. And of course, you sleep terribly. You might pass out, but it's not restorative sleep. All night long while you're tossing and turning, that fat from dinner was just sitting there, getting stored, or not burned. So yeah, that's the price of the traffic jam. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not here to preach. An occasional indulgence, that's part of life. The body can handle it. The real problem is the pattern. When this becomes your go-to routine every weekend for years, the research shows this pattern dramatically increases the risk of fatty liver disease, both non-alcoholic and alcoholic. It worsens insulin resistance. It's just not great. It really is the combination. That's the kicker. Okay, breath. That's the bad news. But let's talk about the good news. Those strategic solutions. How do we drink smarter? It's not about quitting everything. It's about managing two things: timing and quantity. First, let's bust that myth about coating your stomach. People think, I'll eat a big greasy pizza before I drink. Bad move. Sure, it slows down alcohol absorption, but also loads up your system with fat right before you hit the pause button on fat burning. The real strategy is about food choices. When you know you'll be drinking, that's the time to prioritize protein and fiber and keep the fat moderate. So instead of the creamy pasta, maybe you get the steak and asparagus. Or a grilled chicken sandwich. You're still eating, you're still enjoying yourself, but you're not creating that metabolic pileup. You're giving your liver a fighting chance. And of course, hydration. Water helps everything. Just drink water. Now, what about supporting the liver directly? Because even with smart choices, you're still asking a lot from this organ. There are two nutrients that the research consistently points to for liver support in this context. The first one is N-acetyl L-cysteine, or NAC. NAC is incredible because it helps your body produce glutathione. Glutathione is your body's master antioxidant. It's the fire extinguisher your liver uses to put out the inflammatory fires caused by alcohol. The problem is, processing alcohol burns through your glutathione stores. NAC helps you replenish them. The second one is milk thistle. You've probably heard of it. It contains a compound called silymarin, which helps protect the actual liver cells. It's like reinforcing the walls of the factory while the workers are in overdrive. And, full disclosure, this science is exactly why I put NAC and milk thistle in the Daily Restore formula for Cloud9. We looked at the problem and asked, what does the liver actually need? And we built the answer. But I want to be super clear, this is not a magic pill. You can't use it as an excuse to go off the rails. It is not a cure. It is support for a hard-working organ. So let's wrap this up. What's the big picture? It means shifting your mindset. It means understanding that your liver is amazing, but it's a terrible multitasker. When you force it to choose between alcohol and fat, you create that traffic jam, and you feel the consequences. But once you know that, you can stop blaming yourself for being weak and realize it's just chemistry. And you can work with chemistry. You can make smarter choices. So here's the thought I want to leave you with. Next time you're out, drink in hand, look at that menu, just visualize the traffic jam. Picture your liver trying to direct traffic and ask yourself, do I want to keep things moving? Or do I want to cause a pileup? Help your liver out. Your Saturday morning self will thank you for it. I'm Mike Hardenbrook. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you on the next one. That's a wrap for today's episode. If you got something out of this, do me a quick favor. Leave a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening on. It helps keep the show going and would mean the world to me. Got ideas, comments, or questions? Shoot me an email at mike@trycloud9.com. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for extra support, check out Cloud9, makers of Daily Restore, a once-a-day supplement to support your body from alcohol's effects, and Rise and Unwind AM/PM, a 24-hour combo to curb cravings, balance mood, and improve sleep when taking a break. Go to trycloud9.com and use the code PODCAST to save 15% on your next order. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.